Good morning all of you. In this video we will discuss about the first topic in the chapter, principles of inheritance and variations. So before going to discuss about the genetics, we must know about who is the father of genetics. The father of genetics is Gregor John Mendel. He was the father of genetics because he was first to demonstrate the mechanism of transmission of characters from one generation to the next. This transmission of characters from one generation to another generation, that is nothing but heredity or inheritance. Our inheritance and heredity was first explained by Gregor John Mendel. Then he was considered father of genetics. And initially Gregor John Mendel, he was also gives principles of inheritance and variations. Principles of inheritance and variations. He was born in Silesian. Then it is part of Austria. Now it is part of Czech Republic. In July 22nd, 1822. He was born in Silesian in 22nd July 1822. At the age of 25, he was made priest in the monastery. At the age of 25, he was made priest in the monastery. And he also served as teacher for 14 years. Later, he was made abbot. Abbot means head of the monastery. Finally, he carried out hybridizational experiments. Hybridizational experiments means crossing between two parents. Finally, he carried out hybridizational experiments on garden pea. The scientific name of garden pea is Pisum sativum. He also carried out hybridizational experiments on garden pea for 7 years. That is from 1856 to 1863. Initially, he took 32 pairs of characters. Then he restricted to 22 pairs of characters. But finally, he selected only 7 pairs of characters or 7 pairs of varieties. So what are the 7 pairs of characters was selected by Mendel? They are stem height. Next, flower position in garden pea. Flower position. Next, flower color. Next, pod shape. Entire fruit is also known as pod. Then pod color. Next character, seed color. And finally, seed shape. So all of them are called contrasting characters. So what are contrasting characters? Contrasting characters means opposite characters. For example, he selected stem height. And in garden pea, both stems are available, tall stem and dwarf stem. Both types of stems are available. If both opposite characters available in a character, then these characters are known as contrasting characters. And finally, he selected how many contrasting characters? 7 contrasting characters. And 7 contrasting characters are also called 14 characters, because 7 contrasting character means it consists one contrasting character consists 2 characters. Means 7 contrasting characters means finally there are 14 characters. 14 characters selected by Mendel in garden pea for carried out of hybridizational experiments. But Mendel's work, it is non-recognized. Non-recognition of Mendel's work. Non-recognition of Mendel's work about 34 years. Why Mendel's work is non-recognized up to 34 years? There are so many reasons, but some of the important reasons are, then all hybridizational experiments published in a publication, that is the Proceedings of Brown Natural Science Society, it has limited circulation. The first reason is limited circulation of the proceedings of Brown Natural Science Society. Natural Science Society. So it has very limited circulation. That's why the experiments are they are not reached throughout the world. And second one, at that time, the scientific world was being rocked by Darwin's theory of evolution. Theory of evolution. And next reason is his concept of factors. His concept of factors was not accepted by his contemporaries. When Mendel was used the term factors, the discrete units. Now they are called genes. But the term factor was not accepted by his contemporaries. And final reason, he was the first scientist who used statistical and mathematical logics in the biology. So it creates a lot of confusion in the biology. That's why his contemporaries are not accepted the Mendel's work for about 34 years. But finally, his work is rediscovered after 34 years in rediscovery of Mendel's work. Rediscovery of Mendel's work is carried out after 34 years. In 1900, there are 3 scientists independently rediscovered principles of inheritance. They are Hugo de Vries, he was from Poland. Then Correns, he was from Germany. Then Schermak, he was from Austria. And these 3 scientists independently rediscovered Mendel's work. Finally, after 34 years, Mendel got recognized for his hybridizational experiments on Guardian Pea. What is the scientific name of Guardian Pea? That is Pisum sativum. So what are the advantages for selection of Guardian Pea? Advantages for selection of Guardian Pea, or the scientific name is Pisum sativum, and it is diploid. In diploid condition, it has 14 number of chromosomes. So what are the advantages? They are, so pure lines are available in Guardian Pea. Pure lines are available. Pure lines means they are homozygous condition. Homozygous condition means only that particular character is present. Then second advantage is contrasting pairs are also available. Contrasting characters, opposite characters are also present in Guardian Pea. For example, Guardian Pea has tall stem, it is also has dwarf stem. It also has violet flower, it also has green flower. Like contrasting characters are available. Then it is annual plant. It has lifespan with only 1 year, and that's why it has very short lifespan. So annual plant and short lifespan. Then self-pollinated varieties are present. Self-pollinated plant. Pisum sativum is self-pollinated, and a single mating can produce large number of seeds. So seeds, they produce second generations, so large number of offsprings are available. And when these F1 hybrids are present, then F1 hybrids are also fertile. F1 hybrids are also fertile. If F1 hybrids are fertile, then they are self-pollinated to obtain F2 and F3 generations. So these are some of the advantages for selection of Pisum sativum or Guardian. And he also carried out hybridizational experiments, plants like Lablaw, but he was not succeed in these plants. But he was succeed in Physem Sativum because of all these available characters. Their pure lines are available, contrasting characters available. It is annual plant and has short lifespan. It is self-pollinated plant and single mating can produce large number of seeds. The F1 hybrids are also fertile. They are also fertile. And in hybridizational experiments, so there are some steps for crossing of two parents and obtaining offsprings or progeny. So there are three steps involved. There are steps involved in hybridizational experiments. So what are the steps involved in hybridizational experiments? They are first step is selection of pure lines. So first, or it is also known as selection of parents. Initially, for any hybridizational experiment, the selection of parents should be important. So first step is carried out, selection of pure lines. And second one is hybridization or crossing between selected plants for F1 generation, for obtaining F1 offsprings or first generation. And second one is, third step is self-breeding between F1 generation for obtaining F2 and F3 generations. Initially, selection of parents should be very important for. Then the selected parents are cross-hybridized for obtaining F1 generation. Then F1 generations are self-fertilized for obtaining F2 and F3 generations. So these are the three very much important steps in any hybridizational experiments. So before going to hybridizational experiments, we should know what are the characters are dominant and what are the characters are recessive among 7 contrasting characters. He selected only 7 contrasting characters in Garden P for carried out hybridizational experiments. And they are first characters, 7 contrasting characters in which some contrasting characters are dominant and some of them are recessive. So which character is dominant and which character is recessive, we must know about that. The first one is stem height. The first character is stem height. In stem height, there are 2 characters are available, tall and dwarf. Here, the tall character is dominant and dwarf character is recessive. Second character is flower position. In this character, axial position is dominant and terminal position is recessive. Third character is flower color. In this, green color is dominant and yellow color is recessive. Next, pod shape. Pod means entire fruit. Inflated is dominant. Inflated means like this one. So this type of pod is dominant and constricted pod is recessive. Constricted means like this one. They are constricted between the seeds. And next character is pod color. In this character, violet color is dominant and white color is recessive. Next character is seed color. In seed color, yellow color is dominant and green color is recessive. And last 7 contrasting character, that is seed shape. So round seed is dominant and wrinkled seed is recessive. So these are the 7 contrasting characters, and in 7 contrasting characters, 7 characters are dominant and 7 characters are recessive. This is very important for objective exams. In stem height, tallness is dominant, dwarfness is recessive. In flower position, axial position is dominant, terminal position is recessive. In flower color, green is dominant, yellow is recessive. In pod shape, inflated is dominant, constricted is recessive. In pod color, violet is dominant, white is recessive. Seed color, yellow is dominant, green is recessive. In seed shape, round is dominant, wrinkled is recessive. So these are the 7 contrasting characters selection for hybridizational experiments on garden pea. So based on 7 characters, he performed 2 hybridizational experiments and proposed principles of inheritance or generalizations of inheritance. So he performed 2 hybridizational experiments. The first one is inheritance of one gene. The first one is inheritance of one gene, and it is also known as Mendel's monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. We are familiar with these two terms, monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. But monohybrid means single hybrid, 2 parents differ to produce same hybrid. Inheritance of one gene, only one pair of character, they are inherited from one generation to another generation. In class 10, we are very familiar with these terms, monohybrid and dihybrid. But in class 11, we must know these two terms also, inheritance of one gene and inheritance of 2 genes. So first, let us discuss the monohybrid cross. So in this cross, it is a cross between 2 parents. It is a cross between 2 parents that are differed in only one heritable character. One heritable character. Usually for inheritance of one gene, Mendel selected height of stem. So stem height has 2 characters, tall character and dwarf character. Then he performed hybridizational experiment, or that is nothing but monohybrid cross. In monohybrid cross, it is a cross between 2 parents, and the 2 parents are differed in only one heritable character. And generally he selected homozygous tall plant, and he crossed with homozygous tall plant with homozygous recessive. This is the experiment, and he selected homozygous tall plant. So what is the genotype of homozygous tall plant? That is capital T and capital T, because genes always occurs in pairs. So these are the parents. Homozygous tall plant is crossed with homozygous dwarf parent. So what is the genetic constitution? Small t, because the dominant character is assigned capital letters and the recessive character is assigned small letters. And from these parents, we should obtain gametes. So gametes, so this parent produce capital T one gamete and capital T another gamete. Gametes are always written in circles. So gametes of this parent is small t and small. So these are the gametes of both parents. Then we obtained F1 hybrids or F1 generation. So for obtaining F1 generation, we must use Punnett square or checkerboard. So this is the checkerboard for obtaining F1 generation. So in this, the possible gametes are written on 2 sides, right row and left column. So these 2 parents, for example, if you think this is male parent and this is female parent, then the gametes of male parents are usually written on right row, and the gametes of female parent, it is written on left column. Then we can obtain the probability of possible gametes. So what is the probability? Capital T and small t, it is a tall plant. Then again capital T and small t, then it is also tall plant. Again capital T and small t, it is also tall plant. Again capital T and small t, so it is also tall plant. That means in F1 generation, 100% plants will be tall. Then we obtain F2 generation. For obtaining F2 generation, we must self-pollinated between F1 generation. If we select any 2 plants, because in F1 generation Mendel obtained all tall plants, then he self-pollinated between F1 hybrids. So in F1 hybrids, he selected 2 parents. This is one tall plant and it is crossed with another tall plant of F1 generation. Again, he obtained gametes. What are the gametes? Capital T and small t, capital T and small t. These are the gametes of F1 generation of two parents. Again, it is cross pollinate. It is again gametes are obtained with the help of Punnett square. So that is F2 hybrids. For obtaining F2 hybrids, again we must use Punnett square. Again, the gametes of two parents again placed on two rows. This is male and this is female. Capital T and small t, capital T and small t. Now we obtain the probability. Capital T, capital T. So capital T is a tall plant. Then capital T and small t, it is also tall plant. Heterozygous but tall plant. Capital T and small t, it is also tall plant. Capital small t and small t. Here it is dwarf plant. It means in F2 generation, how many plants will be tall? 3. And how many plants will be dwarf? 1. That means it is the phenotypic ratio. The phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross, that is 3:1. 3 plants were tall and 1 plant is dwarf. Now we will look at genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio. What is genotypic ratio? It is the genetic constitution or the genetic combination of an individual. Capital T is 1. Capital T is 1. Capital T, small t are 2. Then small t, it is 1. That means the genotypic ratio is 1:2, 2:1. So initially he selected homozygous tall plant. Then this parent is crossed with this parent. Then in F1 generation he obtained all 100% plants will be tall. Then again self-pollinated between any two F1 generation. Then in F2 generation he obtained 3 plants were tall and 1 plant is tall. And the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So in monohybrid cross the phenotypic ratio is 3:1 and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So this is the monohybrid cross. So based on the results of monohybrid cross, he gives 2 generalizations of inheritance and variations, that is law of dominance and law of segregation. Based on the results of monohybrid cross, he proposed 2 laws, law of dominance and law of segregation. And he also calculated the all results of, he maintained the record for each and every experiments from F1 generation to F2, F3 generation. So he also calculated the results based on the theory of probability. For example, in F1 generation, initially he selected homozygous tall plant, then homozygous tall plant is crossed with homozygous dwarf plant. Then in F1 generation he obtained all tall plants. When he self-fertilized between F1 generation, he obtained F2 generation. In F2 generation, he obtained total 1064 plants. Out of 1064, 787 plants were tall and 277 plants were dwarf. Hence it is near to 2.84:1 or it is equals to 3:1. That's why the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross is 3:1. So based on the results of monohybrid cross, he proposed 2 generalizations. The first generalization is law of dominance. So according to law of dominance, all characters are controlled by discrete units, and these discrete units are called factors. So according to Mendel, or according to law of dominance, all characters are controlled by factors. Now factors are called genes. And second character is alleles always occurs in pairs. Alleles occur in pairs. So tall, capital T, dwarf, small t. So alleles always occurs in pairs. Then out of 2 alleles, the most important character is out of 2 allele, 1 allele. For example, in F1 generation, this is a tall plant. So out of 2 allele, 1 allele, this allele is able to express itself in F1 hybrid, then the allele which is able to express itself, then it is known as dominant allele. It is known as dominant allele. And the allele which is not able to express itself, then this allele is known as recessive allele. So in hybrid condition or in F1 condition, after two alleles, one is dominant allele, other is recessive allele. Now we will see the explanation of law of dominance. So what is the explanation of law of dominance? So he selected homozygous tall plant and homozygous dwarf. So homozygous tall plant crossed with homozygous dwarf plant. Then gametes are obtained. So what are the gametes? Capital T. For this plant, this parent, small t, small t. Then it was crossed with this one, capital T, small t. It was crossed with this one, capital T, small t. So this is the F1 generation. So in F1 generation, 100 plants will be tall. Now it is self-fertilized. When it is self-fertilized, heterozygous tall plant is crossed with heterozygous tall plant. Then he obtained F2 generation. For F2 generation again, this is male parent and this is female parent. So gametes are similar for both parents, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t. This is tall, this is also tall. So 3 plants were tall and 1 plant is tall. It means phenotypic ratio is 3:1 and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Here in F1 condition, when the two parents present, when the two alleles of a character or the two alleles of a gene stay together, in one allele is able to express itself, which is called dominant, and other is not able to express itself, then it is known as recessive. And what is the significance of law of dominance? The law of dominance explains why the individuals of F1 generation express only one parent. And it also explains 3:1 phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross. 3:1 ratio because it is due to test cross. Next, it also explains why mixed population is superior than in normal population. So this is the explanation of first law, that is law of dominance. And based on the results of monohybrid cross, he also proposed second law, which is nothing but law of segregation. So according to Correns, it is the first law. It is also universal law. What is law of segregation? When the two alleles of a gene, they are controlling each character. When the two alleles of a gene which are controlling each character, this character is controlling tall character and this allele is controlling dwarf character, they stay together. Two alleles of a gene controlling each character stay together in the individual or in the F1 generation. But when gametes are spores produced by meiosis, both are segregated from each other. Both alleles can segregate from each other. That means now allele carries only one character, only one trait of a character. This allele carries tallness, this allele carries dwarfness. That's why this law is also known as law of purity of gametes. Law of purity of gametes or law of purity of spores. And this is also universal law. It means it applicable for all conditions. So this is the law of segregation. Then now we will discuss the what is explanation for law of segregation. So same explanation. He selected homozygous tall plant. When homozygous tall plant is crossed with homozygous dwarf plant, then he obtained two gametes from each plant. So these are the gametes. Now he crossed. Then in F1 generation, he obtained all heterozygous tall plants. So these are parents. These are gametes. This is F1 generation. Now it is self-fertilized. In self-fertilized, and next F2 generation is obtained. In F2 generation again, when it is self-fertilized, both gametes are segregated. Both gametes are segregated, like capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So tall plant, tall plant, tall plant, dwarf plant. Here 3:1 is phenotypic ratio, 1:2:1 is genotypic ratio. Actually in F2 generation, Mendel expected again in F2 generation all plants were tall. But here suddenly one of the parental characters appeared. Why parental characters appeared? This information is not known by Mendel. That's why now Mendel performed test cross. So what is the use of test cross? Test cross is used, it is also used for test for linkage. But the main intention of test cross, that is to study the genotype, of an individual. So what is test cross? It is a cross between F1 hybrid of unknown genotype with recessive parent. Already in the previous video I will tell, he selected a flower, violet flower and white flower. A dominant violet flower is crossed with white flower. Then in first there are two possibilities. In first possibilities, 100% flowers will be violet. Then in second possibility, 50% flowers will be violet and 50% flowers will be white. It means the F1 hybrid is heterozygous, not homozygous. If it is homozygous, in F2 generation also all flowers should be violet. But there are 50% violet and 50% white. That is due to the F1 hybrid. The phenotypic ratio is clearly visible, but the genotypic ratio, to study the genotypic ratio, the main cross is test cross.